All right, everyone. Well, we have some exciting news in Raid Shadow Legends, and first thing you might notice is that we no longer have the holiday background. The Yule tree is gone, the snow is gone, we're back to the campfire. It's been a while, but that's not the really exciting stuff. What I wanted to get into today is the recently released developer Q&A that Plarium put out there, where they actually go through and address a lot of topics and things that are requested by the community, and they actually end up answering 34 things in particular. So this is up on the official Raid Shadow Legends forum. I'm going to go through in the video today and take a look at everything, see what kind of topics Plarium decided to address, give my little inputs and feedback. And if you guys are interested in taking a look at this in a little bit more detail on your own, I will also include a link in the description of the video as well as in a comment pinned at the top. Now let's jump right to it and start off with suggestion number 1. Increase the number of small potions on stage 15 in dungeons. Now this is something that if you guys have been playing for a while, you all know how absolutely infuriating this can end up being. Running the maximum stage of dungeons and ascension potions and just getting garbage drops. A couple of lesser potions, a brew. Now I don't think this is the absolute best thing that they could have done. I'm sure they could have done something else, but at least it's a step in the right direction. It's an improvement and it's going to help out. It might not seem huge, but this change is definitely going to make a difference in the long term, especially if you spend a decent amount of time in the Ascension Potions working on ascending different champions. So game dev response are planning to increase the minimum number of small potions on stage 15 from 3 to 7 in patch 1.14. So very important in patch 1.14. All right, next up. Suggestion 2, endless HP for clan bosses. Limit of received chests in 24 hours. This would solve that problem of running into the issue where there's not enough HP among a clan of fully active people for everyone to actually get all of the best rewards. This way, everyone could get the best rewards and kind of bypass that problem. Game dev response, we do want to do something with the scarcity of HP on clan boss, thus we are checking and looking into all possible variants to satisfy all players. Endless HP for clan boss is one of them, and it is very likely that we will implement that. First, though, we will bring the changes that we already have announced in the clan boss area and get to resolving the HP question a little bit later. So they probably should have put this question a little bit further down the list to clarify a little bit more about what they're talking about, but you guys will see that Plarium is planning on a whole bunch of changes to the clan boss. There's going to be a big revamp, and lots of things with the clan boss are going to be changed. So really excited about that. They addressed it a bit more in a further suggestion down the list, but you know, interesting stuff right there. All right, suggestion 3, give something for utilizing duplicates. This is another really big one. Cough, certain people, hint hint, might have duplicates of certain legendary fusion champions because that's how lucky we end up getting in our pulls. I know that I have a couple of, I have 2 Warlords now, 2 Harvest Tracks, and 2 Mollies. I still have no idea. Some people have said, hey, you can try doing different builds and use different gear so that you don't have to switch around, but it's a little bit frustrating when you get lucky enough to pull legendaries and then it's just a duplicate of another legendary, and especially a fusion legendary, but that is something else that Plarium is working on. So game dev response, we have planned an amazing feature that will turn duplicates into benefits instead of disappointment. I really want more info about this. I really do. So I'm excited to hear a bit more about this. It might still be a while, considering that the Ascension changes is planned for patch 1.14, but that's very, very good news right there. All right, suggestion 4, a warning when inbox is full. There are several options for how we can deal with this. We'll think these through. That's a pretty simple one. Another thing to mention is a lot of these suggestions is kind of like a mix between more simple things like that one right there and then a bit more complex stuff that really could get into some crazy upcoming stuff for Raid Shadow Legends. All right, suggestion number 5, show champs from the vault in the Fusion tab. Game dev response, this will be added in the nearest update. Another more simple one right there. Suggestion 6, rewards and gold 4 tier. So what's going on with the arena rewards? Are they going to be revamped? Are they taking a look at them? Game dev response. We've discussed this question multiple times and still haven't made the final decision. We thought about creating brackets and gold tier, like platinum tier with 300 places in it, to improve rewards for gold 4, but we're not sure if such a feature can please most of the player base. Thus, the question about rewards in gold 4 tier is still open, and we will keep thinking about what we can do here. So Really interesting. I'm a little bit worried that they're thinking about doing something like they are with Platinum with Gold. I think if anything, they need to expand upon the Platinum tier to have like Platinum 1, 2, 3, and 4 instead of expanding it downwards to the Gold tier, but they're looking at it and we'll know a bit more info about this in the future. I know arena rewards have been a hot topic for a while. They definitely feel underwhelming considering you only end up getting them once per week. And if you just don't really get good gear, a lot of times all you can end up getting is just maybe a couple of gems, a couple of brews, and that's pretty much it. So, all right, next up, suggestion 7, sell accessories right after a battle. Game dev response, yes, that is something we are planning on doing very soon. That's a very simple one. A big quality of life change, though, for people who spend a lot of time in the Spider. It can be very frustrating if you are doing Spider to not be able to sell them directly from the dungeon screen. So that's good news right there. Suggestion 8, random fusion. Fuse 3 champions of the same rank to get one of the same rank. Bad luck counter. Game dev response. We know that it is practiced in some other games of this genre, and we'll think about possible variants. However, this is not on the list of priorities right now. So, there we go there. All right, suggestion 9, remove rare books from Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare chests. Game dev response. Yes, we will remove them from the last chests on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. However, we would like to inform you that according to our plan, the value of our rare champions and rare tomes for them would be noticeably increased in the future. So this is probably going to be tying in with that really big plan that they have for duplicate champions. We don't really know a whole bunch of information about this as of right now, except that it's very likely that these two suggestions, suggestion number 3 and now suggestion number 9, are tied together somehow. So we'll just have to wait for the future to find out more info about that. Suggestion 10, allow players to choose the priority of skills usage in battle. This would be huge. This would be absolutely a game changer. One of the biggest features that I would like. Yes, you can always manual battle, but I know a lot of people don't want to spend all day on manual battle. That's one of the big reasons why people play games like this. And certain champions, unfortunately, just have certain skills that are not that good on auto battle. They slow things down. I know an example is like Sir Nicholas. When you end up using Sir Nicholas on auto battle in, like, you know, for example, the campaign, and he uses his goodwill skill here, places an unkillable buff and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. There's just really no reason to end up using that skill when you are campaign farming. It just takes a turn where nothing is really accomplished. It also is frustrating because it makes it so that your food can't end up dying. So, you know, that would be huge, and I'm really looking forward to that. But important notice, Septimus's A2 on auto will be fixed right after the release. Okay, so that's a pre-existing issue right there. We're also preparing other AI fixes for close releases. So the actual response here, presetting of skill usage in auto battles is something that is being in the process of creating. However, it won't be introduced in the nearest future. And you guys know that Plarium soon already probably means 6 months to a year. So if Plarium says soon, that means it could be a while. And when Plarium says it's going to be a while themselves, that means you know that it's going to be a while. So I would not expect this, unfortunately, anytime in 2020. It's probably going to be at least 2021 before we hear more about this. Suggestion 11, clan currency, clan shop. Now this is huge because this ties back to what they talked about earlier with those clan boss changes. And we do have a lot of plans similar to the suggestion on developing the clan area, and we are working on them. So lots of clan boss changes coming soon, whether it's going to actually be a clan currency, a clan shop, which is a big suggestion that a lot of people, including YouTube content creators, have had for the clan boss for a while. We don't know the exact details, but we know that it's going to get revamped. I'm a little bit worried, I'm not going to lie, because you could still get some really good rewards from the clan boss that if they messed with it too much and kind of took away a lot of those good rewards, it would really be unfortunate. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to stay positive here. I'm going to be optimistic and really hope that this is going to be a big change when it does come out. Suggestion 12, 2 artifact presets. We have some high priority artifact related tasks on the table. You may have seen some spoilers in our official Discord, so we're not too sure about this one for now, but we'll keep that in mind. This will just save silver, of course, so doesn't seem like it's going to be happening anytime too soon, though. Notification, let's see, suggestion 13, notification that the limit of turns in a battle has been reached. Game dev response, we're going to add the counter for the number of clan boss turns and the dealt damage in release 1.14. So there we go on that, another more simple one right there. Expand the main champion storage. This is always a big one. I know when they expanded the storage last time, it was good news. They expanded the artifact storage and the champion storage, but it definitely could have been a bit more. And I think a lot of people expected more than just 100 extra slots. But hey, it was still something. We always need more artifact storage or more champion storage, especially for mid and late game players. Kind of hoping that they add some more sometime soon. All right. Suggestion 15, add a copy to clipboard feature when messaging from the in-game chat. This one is, a little bit more quality of life type stuff. While there is an evident advantage to it, still there are some players that can use it to spread harmful links, and we won't want that to happen, so it's not something we would consider for implementation. Okay, I can see that. The in-game chat is kind of a mess, especially in the more popular channels like Channel 1, Channel 2. So there's a lot of spam, a lot of bad stuff. Be careful with the in-game chat. It can get pretty crazy. Suggestion 16, more free auto battles similar to the event that we had once. Game dev response, we will double the number of battles in the multi-battle mode and campaign, both free and subscriptions, in release 1.13, which is going to be coming up really soon. I know they hinted about this earlier, so that's always good news. Hopefully they expand upon this in the future even more, but it's at least a start. Suggestion 17, another very, very simple one. Search a champion by name in index. Really simple. These are the kind of things that I am very surprised that we don't have. With the amount of money that Raid Shadow Legends spends advertising the game and just on the game in general, these are very simple quality of life features that a lot of other games have that I'm very surprised are not in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, speaking of other games, I wanted to take a minute to talk about Dragon Champions. All right, everyone. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about Dragon Champions. Now, this is actually a game that some of you guys might already be a little familiar with, at least the name, and that is because there are other YouTubers and even YouTubers that I watch who actively play this game. It's kind of one of their games that they play in addition to other games, and there's a reason why. It's not just because it's a new title or anything like that. There are certain things in Dragon Champions that they do a really good job of offering that other games really struggle with, and one of those is going to be the extreme high communication levels with the developers, something certain other games might struggle with a little bit. And I actually decided to check this game out when I was not really in the right mindset for playing another game, and it was definitely worth it. So I highly recommend it if you guys are interested in those more realistic fantasy type graphics as well. I'm not the biggest fan of like anime inspired games. I don't know how you guys feel, but those games will never really hold my attention for too long. But Dragon Champions has the kind of graphic style that I actually enjoy. Lots of really cool characters. They're constantly adding not only more characters, but more content, events, high communication levels with the developers, of course. And if you guys do decide to play, I highly recommend that you use the code SALTGIFT before you get to level 15 so that you can end up getting a bunch of stuff for free. It's worth about $10, so definitely worth it. When I played, I unfortunately was not able to take advantage of it, so I missed out on all this free stuff. But if you guys do try it out, it's available for download on the iOS and Android store. Make sure to use that code SALTGIFT once again. All right, everyone. So let's get back to the actual suggestions here, see what we've got still on the list. All right, so let's see. Suggestion 18, friends list. Direct messages. Another thing that is just in so many other games that we don't have here in Raid Shadow Legends, which is definitely a bit surprising. Game dev response, the friends feature is in the planning stages right now, so it's a bit too early to talk about the details. You want to make certain that the in-game friends feature has a meaning and such. We will look into ways of providing that meaning, but this is definitely one of those features that we plan to add in the future. It would be cool if they had like a friends point type of system. I know a lot of games similar to Raid have systems like that, where it's kind of like summons in a way, but on a smaller scale. Maybe it's not champions, but you get little stuff just by interacting with your friends in some way. Let's see. Suggestion 19. Push notifications for a clan boss leader and deputies when someone joins or leaves. Very simple quality of life one right there. Game dev response will try to make it happen, but not in the nearest future. We still haven't decided yet how it can be introduced. All right, number 20. Add more deputies and clans. Game dev response will undoubtedly make it happen. Again, this is tying into a lot of the really big clan changes that seem like they're going to be happening sometime in the future. It seems like it's going to be 1.14 when a lot of this stuff is going to be, because 1.13 is right around the corner already, so probably not a whole bunch of new stuff coming out in 1.13 that we don't quite know about yet, but these clan changes, I'm really excited for them. Suggestion 21, add mystery shards to Nightmare Campaign. Wait, what? No! We don't want mystery shards in Nightmare Campaign. I don't want them in Nightmare Campaign anyway. Who suggested this? Listen, I'm not mad. I just want to talk, okay? Who made this suggestion? No, thank you. I'll pass. Can we opt out of this one here? No problem, we'll add them. No! Please. I don't know. I have enough mystery shards. Maybe some people actually really want this, but I definitely don't. I've got enough mystery shards and enough ways to get mystery shards. I'd much rather have the higher possibility of 6-star artifacts and stuff like that. Alright, suggestion 22. New auras with debuffs. Decrease defense for arena only. All other for all locations. Debuff resistance, accuracy, speed, HP, attack. That's quite an interesting idea. We'll think about it. So that is an interesting idea. It definitely could make for some interesting champion combinations. Suggestion 23. Activate the inbox resources that are about to expire automatically. We'll think about it. This should just be a no-brainer. Why would you not automatically take stuff in the inbox that is going to be expiring the soonest? This is just one of those Plarium things that Plarium does because they know that it's indirectly a way to get you to spend a bit more. If you have a bunch of stuff in your inbox, you know, like me, for example, I have stuff expiring in 51 days. I have stuff expiring in 86 days. This one in 2 days. And if you use Plarium system to take stuff from the inbox, of course, it takes the stuff that has the longest duration to expire instead of the shortest. It's just, there's no reason for it to work like that, but it's very, you know, it doesn't surprise me, Plarium being the way that Plarium is. So, alright, let's see here. Suggestion 24, a Minotaur tournament. It's in our plans, but we can't say yet if we will be able to launch it anytime soon. They've been talking about this for a while, by the way. I know they mentioned the plans for a Minotaur tournament in the Discord a long, long time ago. Suggestion 25, convert champions into chickens. What kind of... who made this suggestion? Once again, listen, I'm not mad. I just want to talk, okay? That's all I want to do. We already have enough champions that are chickens already, essentially. Every champion has a unique personality. We do not want to hurt their feelings and to convert them into food. We don't think it'll happen, especially if expand the main champion storage. Oh, I see why somebody made the suggestion. They wanted to save on storage. Well, that, I guess, makes sense. But, you know, again, we already have so many champions that need buffs and stuff that I don't think this should really be too high on the priority list. Suggestion 26. Review Raid Pass subscription privileges. Yes, make the Raid Pass more appealing. It's definitely, it's okay, but it feels like they could really get a lot more people to use it if they made it just a bit more appealing. More multi-battles is a start, but they could do even more with it. There's some improvements in the Raid Pass in Release 1.13. Suggestion 27, label champs somehow to be able to distinguish duplicates. Thanks for the suggestion. We'll think about it. That's a very interesting response right there. I feel like they've made this response a couple of times now. That probably means it's probably not going to happen anytime in the near future. Suggestion 28, champions which are fully skill booked should have a visual cue in their icon, for example, a green S on the top right. It sounds very interesting, but we won't do it in our future plans. We're planning to add one more way to improve our champions that has nothing to do with ascending, masteries, and skill temps. So this way a visual cue will be illiquid. Alright, so, you know, again, could be tying into a lot of their big plans for some of the big updates coming out in the future. Again, this will just be another small quality of life thing, not really too high on the priority list. Alright, suggestion 29, review the market. Yes, Plarium, please review the market. It needs some work. It has some potential. If they made the market a bit better, I really think it could be extremely appealing. I love the idea of a market in games like this, but the one in Raid Shadow Legends, especially when you get to the mid and late game, it's just not quite good enough to warrant refreshes or anything along those lines. I still check it every hour, but it definitely needs some work. Yes, we are already considering possible variants of improving the market by adding more resources and ways to utilize them there. Suggestion 30, add the feature to compose and sort groups for arena, dungeons, clan boss, faction wars. This would be a fantastic quality of life feature. Yes, good response. This is one of the features we plan to add in the future, of course. Suggestion 31, make it possible to buy offers for gifting them to other players. Hey, that's something that would make them more money, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is kind of at the top of their list. Game dev response sounds interesting. We'll keep this idea for future or further consideration. Suggestion 32, add 5 more stages to the Minotaur dungeon and potion keeps. This was one of the responses where earlier I skimmed through it and I was a little bit shocked to see the response on it. Game dev response, that's not in our plans, especially since we're going to increase the minimum amount of small potions on stage 15. We don't see an urgent need for creating higher stages. It just seems very strange that we have 20 stages of the dungeon and only 15 of the Minotaur and Potion Keeps. And the thing is, the Minotaur and Potion Keep dungeons, the maximum stage is so much easier in comparison to stage 20 of dungeons. Maybe that's kind of part of Plarium's plan. Maybe they want it to be a lot easier, but once you get to even like the mid game, I wouldn't even say the late game, the maximum level of Potion Keeps and Minotaur are just an absolute breeze, and you can pretty much take any reasonable teams through there and clear it in a minute or two, or sometimes even less. So a very, very strange comparison in terms of the maximum difficulty of dungeons and Minotaur and Potion. All right, suggestion 33, moral damage when good and bad factions are banded together. For example, a Dark Elf champion and a High Elf champion are in the same team, result in minus 10% speed or HP damage. This would be interesting, could definitely add a lot of additional strategy to team building and stuff like that, if they did it properly, of course. Game dev response, this is something you need to think about. Thanks. Alright, and the last one on the list, suggestion number 34, a hatred system. For example, Elhine and Berserker are mortal enemies and thus will deal 150% damage to each other. This kind of ties along with that suggestion number 33 here. Game dev response, this one also sounds really cool. We will not let it go unnoticed. So 33 and 34, probably not at the top of the priority list. Most likely won't see that stuff for a while. But overall, guys, I mean, let me know what you all think. I think there was some really cool things on this list. I think most of it was, smaller quality of life, little things. I never love those, we'll think about it, but we don't really know answers. But, it is Plarium, so it's not really expected. And I know that, especially with stuff that they don't really know a lot about, they kind of have to give that kind of answer. But really excited for the clan boss changes. Really excited for the champion changes with the duplicate system that we're going to know more info about soon. And yeah, so that's going to be it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you all think about this. Any comments, feedback, questions, or anything that you want to leave, feel free to do so in the comment section of the video. If you guys did enjoy this video and you want more like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to toss a quick like as well if you want to help out. It means a lot, so thank you to all of you guys to do that. And more Raid Shadow Legends videos should be popping up on the screen right about now. Feel free to check them out. But if not, until next time, have a great day, everyone. And this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.